Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review for Snowpiercer 2013. Before I get started on this movie review, if you would be so kind and you're new to my channel, first of all, welcome to my movie reviews, welcome to my new movie review and my channel. And if you are new, if you've just discovered my YouTube channel, if you'd be so kind, if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button if you'd be so kind. And while you're subscribing to my YouTube channel, if you'd be so kind, and click that bell for notifications. That way when I drop anything, guys, it'll be yours straight away. That'd be amazing. And speaking of amazing and appreciation, guys, I'd really appreciate if you like my content, that is, and leaving a thumbs up on this movie review. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing that. After they hurt the woman at the beginning of the movie, the violinist's wife, I didn't realize what the camera was panning in on. And then as they got to her face and she was coming towards the camera and the camera was going towards her, and she kind of, I realized what it was. And then I saw her face. I realized who she was and what had happened in that situation. And I found that really, really sad. I thought that was a really, really messed up scene. But a very powerful scene, especially to start, well, almost to start the movie off. I love Mark Anthony Reese's line, "Anything in the whole wide train." That line was so clever in this movie. I thought it was just really, really well executed, because if you don't know, you will now, that the line actually is anything in the whole wide world. Like, that's technically where the origin of that quote comes from. But he was born on a train, so he knows nothing else in life but the train. And so his way of seeing it was, anything in the whole wide train. I thought that was actually absolutely brilliant, guys. I actually completely forgot how this movie ended. Like, literally, I completely forgot how it ended. And I'm so glad that I went back and rewatched this movie to see how it ended, because, and for those of you guys who have been following my channel for any period of time at all, you know that I like, and I tell you what is, in my opinion, the core element, essential thing in its DNA that film needs to be film, to go back years, months, days later, because it needs the thing to be able to do it. And that is what I like to call rewatchability, guys. And does Snowpiercer have rewatchability? 100%. Why, you ask? Why does Snowpiercer have rewatchability? I'll tell you that, and I'll get into that right after the synopsis. Snowpiercer synopsis. In a future where a failed climate change experiment has killed all life except for the lucky few who have boarded the Snowpiercer, a train that travels around the globe, a new class system emerges. Okay, guys, so for those of you who have seen Snowpiercer, you'll know what I'm saying. You'll know what I'm talking about. And those of you who haven't seen Snowpiercer and are going to go watch it after I hype the absolute pants out of it in this review, when you see it, you'll know, you'll get it. You'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So what for those of you also who know me at all, guys, I don't do spoilers in my movie reviews, because in my personal opinion, spoilers are not fair. If you really want to know something about a movie and want someone to spoil it for you, go and watch it. Like, just go and see it. So I don't do spoilers at all in my movie reviews, okay? So for those new to my channel, just giving you the heads up. There's a scene in this movie, okay, and I'm going to call it the shoe thrown scene, okay? So a character throws a shoe at another character, and they do something to his arm, and you're like, what? When you see it, you'll get it. And those of you who've seen the movie, right? What they do to his arm? Wow. So what they do to his arm, in my opinion, it was brilliantly executed, because it actually turned out quite funny. It was messed up, but the way they went about it was actually quite funny. But I really thought to myself while watching that scene, why can't he just pull his arm out? Like, I don't actually understand that. He was a really skinny guy, and I just kept thinking to myself, just pull your arm out, dude, like you're skinny. Then I get it. I get why. And possibly because of where it was on his arm, maybe it wouldn't have gone over his elbow. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that was one of the biggest things that I was like, wow, seriously? That's crazy. But the execution was incredible and they nailed it. They really did. So guys, this movie review is kind of specially requested, sort of specially requested, because those of you who've been following me for any period of time, I have actually done a movie review for Parasite. Okay, I've done a movie review for Parasite, which won Best Picture the Best Picture at the Oscars in 2019, and it is Parasite was directed by Bong Joon-ho, which is awesome because Bong Joon-ho actually directed Snowpiercer. Yes, the same guy, the exact same director as Parasite, actually did this movie back in 2013, did Snowpiercer. And obviously Parasite came out 2019, because it won Best Picture that year, which is, if you haven't seen Parasite, oh, wow. There's a reason why it won Best Picture. For real. For real. Oh my gosh. So, back to Snowpiercer. Bong Joon-ho. He is the director of Snowpiercer, and it's just so fascinating to see, one of the things that I love about his directional path, the way that he just directs movies, is he gets what he wants, as in, he knows exactly what he's after. And look at the movies that he's made. Seriously, it's so crystal clear. His vision is executed exactly how he sees it fit. And it's amazing. He's incredible. Guys, the cast lineup for this movie is absolutely stellar, with names as Chris Evans, yes, Captain America himself, just not in this movie, obviously, who plays the character of Curtis. Guys, I kid you not, in any way, shape, or form at all. Chris Evans just owns this movie. He is an actor. He really brings it. And I'm not going to jump the gun, but I just want to let you know, the biggest, powerfulest reason why I say that he smashes this role in this movie is purely and simply, literally, because of the ending sequence that he has with Ed Harris's character, but I'll get to that in a second. It is unbelievable at how hardcore his character is, so believable in this movie. He brings it with every inch of, every inch of acting capacity, seriously. Anyway, also in this movie, guys, is Jamie Bell, who plays Edgar. Now, one of the things that I really appreciated about Edgar's character in this movie, played by Jamie Bell, is his connection. Technically, he became Curtis's best friend. Now, later on in the movie, there's a sequence where a lot of really intense and heavy stuff goes down in this movie. And what happens to characters in this movie, the way that they show those elements in this movie, and especially Edgar in this movie, it is it's really gripping. It really is gripping, because as you understand their relationship earlier in the movie, and then it goes on, when it comes to the part of the situations that go down in this movie, you really feel the impact of what just happened. And I honestly loved the execution of how they delivered that through the relationship of Edgar and Curtis. And you really, as an audience, you felt it so heavily. We also have Tilda Swinton, who plays Mason. Now, I'm really hoping that I'm not butchering that name, Tilda. I think that's how you say her name. I gotta tell you about this. I have to tell you about Tilda, Mason in this movie. She plays this character that she plays this character in this movie that you really need to pay attention. Genuinely, authentically, guys. You need to pay attention to the things that she physically does as mannerisms, not only with her facial expressions, but she does stuff you really have to pay attention to her. I feel that her element in the movie is quite comical, like quite hilarious. And the reason why I say that, guys, and when you see the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, you'll get it. She does certain things in this movie that literally made me just crack up laughing because of who she is, like who her elemental character role is in this movie, and just seeing it played out, you kind of I really sensed to myself multiple times in this movie, man, she is having so much fun. I mean, she really is having so much fun in this movie, and you could see it. You could really see it. That she just let rip, and it was not let rip like that, but you know what I mean. It was amazing. It was so funny to see that played out. Really was. As I said before, guys, Ed Harris is in this movie, and he plays a character called Wilford. Now, one thing I have to say about his character in this movie, as I said, no spoilers, is a surprise. Literally, it's a surprise. Because Ed Harris is just a name. I mean, seriously. He's one of those actors where he comes on screen, you're like, whoa, Ed Harris. Yeah, sweet. He is just so good in this movie. Because he is... I don't want to give it away. I won't give it away. But when you see his character and you understand the dynamic of what he is in this movie and what he brings to the elements of this movie, you'll understand he is one of those actors that as soon as I saw him in this movie, and I didn't know he was in it prior to watching it, but when I saw it, I remember thinking to myself, yeah, this just got really good, like really good. And when you see it, you'll know exactly why. Guys, as you saw at the opening of this movie review is in loving memories of John Hurt, who plays Gillian. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you how much I love him as an actor, loved him as an actor. One of the things that I love with all my heart, with all that is in me, about watching movies like this, like Snowpiercer, seeing people like John Hurt, as you know, who plays a character named Gillian, is now forevermore, literally. And just like this movie review, when it comes to my day of going, now you can always go to YouTube and see what I had to say about people like him. I kid you not, in any way, shape or form, in any degree. I cannot tell you how much I love this guy as an actor, John Hurt as an actor. Seriously, he brings this intense, thorough, and I really mean that when I say that, thorough wisdom to his characters. He plays these roles that is so beautiful, so brilliant, so intense, so deep, that you just, and like, I just remember thinking to myself when I saw him in this movie straight away on screen, I thought to myself, I'm going to love this movie. I'm going to love this movie simply because he was in it. And guys, if you don't recognize John Hurt's character or his face, he's also from the movies and shows, the TV series called The Storyteller. Now that's where I knew him from, and he would literally tell these ridiculously creepy and just wonderful, amazing stories. And oh my gosh, each and every time he was the narrator for it, he was so convincing every single time without fail. It's literally his character in it was so convincing and so incredible that it really, after watching the Snowpiercer, I really thought to myself, you know what, I'm actually thinking about going to finding The Storyteller and just rewatching it all over again, because it really just was so powerful. And I just, again, this movie review really is in loving memories of John Hurt. Okay guys, so I really hope I don't butcher this one. And if I do, I deeply, deeply apologize for butchering it. But I speak English, so this might not be right. But Lang Ho-sung, who plays Nem Gumangsu, I'm really sorry if I'm butchering that. I really do apologize for that. But I needed to bring him up because his role in this movie is actually very, 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 very vital. Sometimes funny, sometimes. But one of the things that I found really, really, really interesting about his character in the movie, and I'm not trying to bag out this movie at all in any way, shape, or form. I just need to say this. I don't understand how Curtis understood him later on in the film, like right at the end. And for those of you who've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. And when you see the movie, those of you who haven't, when you see this movie, you'll get what I'm talking about. The way he speaks to Curtis, Chris Evans' character, he speaks to him with something. Okay, I'm not going to give it away, but he speaks to him with something. And that something isn't used at the end of the film, but, and I don't understand this, it seems like he has a conversation. Him and Curtis have a conversation together. And it made me go, wait, what? Did I just miss something? But anyway, not that that's bad. Not that it's bad. It makes sense because it comes up with the subtitles anyway, so the audience knows exactly what's going on. Unfortunately, speaking of the subtitles coming up, if you're blind, then you wouldn't be able to understand what that part of the movie is because it's really integral and it's pretty powerful to the rest of the storyline. But it's incredible. Other than that, guys, yeah, I just had to say that. Guys, we also have Octavia Spencer in this movie who plays Tanya. Far out! Can Octavia Spencer do a bad role? Like, seriously? I'm pretty sure she can't. I'm like 99, like literally, come on. Octavia Spencer. Man, she is a powerhouse. Oh my gosh, she is a powerhouse actor. Wow. She blows this character, Tanya, out of the water. She just brings so much emotion and character-driven full-onness, whatever you want to call it, to her roles in anything that she plays. And man alive, she killed it in this movie, guys. She's so good. We also have Ewan Bremer, who plays Andrew in this movie. I think that he is one of those characters that the second that you see his face, you'd be like, oh man, where do I know him from? Seriously. Like, literally, because he just has what not only is his accent really, really, really known, but his face in this in movies is just so incredible. But moving on, guys, he's just such an brilliant, incredible, brilliant actor. I love it. He's amazing in this movie. So funny. Like, not only funny, but just brilliant. And we also have a daughter in this movie, Yo-sung, who plays Yona. The thing that I really liked about her character in this movie, sorry, I got something in my eye, about this movie that I really, really liked about her character, guys, is she plays this role that when brought into the movie, there's an element about her character that's vital again to the rest of the film. What she is and who she is and the element that she brings to the movie really elevates the movie. It really, really does. And it makes, as the journey goes on in this movie, it makes you wonder if her character is going to advance. And it's really fascinating to see what comes about her character. It's pretty impressive, actually. Snowpiercer is rated MA15+. Guys, as I said, it came out in 2013 and it was so popular with such a brilliant storyline that it's now a series on Netflix. And no, it doesn't have any of the original cast from the movie in the series. It's a completely different cast. But I did watch maybe half of the first episode of the Netflix series, and I need to keep watching it because I don't know if I like it. So, but anyway, we're talking about the movie here, not the TV, not the Netflix series. With the duration, guys, also of this movie is 2 hours and 6 minutes long, and it's also an action drama sci-fi movie. Okay, guys, I got a question for you. Honestly, seriously, answer this for me. How hard did you laugh when she puts the shoe on his head? Oh man, that was so ridiculously classic and clever. As I said, her role in this movie is just stellar. Just stellar. She just does weird things, but it's so funny. It's so clever. As I said before, guys, I honestly think that Octavia Spencer, her character, the way she plays roles, is so incredibly brilliant. Like, seriously, can she do any wrong as an actor? Like, really? She's so good at what she does. Oh my gosh. I was so incredibly impressed. So incredibly impressed with her acting in this movie, guys. So amazing. Okay, guys, so the first time the passengers see the outside world for the first time, it kind of annoyed me a little bit because you could tell that it was an animated CGI world. It was almost too obvious, but still it was absolutely incredible. But when you see it, you'll get it. But I saw it straight away. I was like, wow, that's totally animated. And if it wasn't, it looked really animated, like seriously, incredibly animated. I'm pretty sure it was animated because it just, I don't know, it just, yeah, I could tell. There was like they put people in front of a green screen and the green screen was the animation, but still, it was amazing. It was executed brilliantly. I have to say, in this movie, that every single time without fail that they used the slow motion effect in this movie was executed to perfection every time without fail, and that's used quite substantially. Bong Joon-ho knew exactly what the editing process needed to be in this movie, because after rewatching it and sit down and really, I guess I analyzed it this time because I really just saw a lot. I was trying to find stuff in this movie compared to what I've never, rewatching it, before watching it now, I wasn't analyzing it and really deep diving into it. And one of the things, speaking of deep diving into it, guys, one of the things that I want to say about this movie that I was so impressed by was the simple fact that every single different section of the train, and when you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who have seen the movie, you'll understand what I'm saying when I say this. It was so brilliantly different to the next. Every single one, every carriage, every part of the train was so incredibly amazing to the next, to the next, to the next. And I really was so taken back. I was so blown away. I was so impressed by that. Now, one thing I have to say that kind of made no sense, that I thought was really weird, was the gun shootout scene through the windows. I didn't understand how that character ended up getting from from where he was in the train to where he ended up. Like, he got there really fast, and that made me go, wait, what? How did you make it there so fast? And that's just being semantics. I know, it's, at the end of the day, it's on a train, like, who cares, The elements, in a sense, that this movie is on a train is so incredibly realistic to the journey that they were going on. I loved that when there's a certain scene, everyone in the train is swaying side to side like you would if you were standing in a moving train. That was executed perfectly, every element of this movie. And that's actually why, so far, I haven't been impressed with the Netflix series, because it just doesn't, it feels like they're not even on a train, even though it's the same principle. But honestly, the movie elements of it, man alive, that I love that element. I thought that was perfectly executed, and I felt it every single time. When Mason, played by Tilda Swinton, clears her throat just before she's about to speak into the microphone, the loudspeaker, made me laugh so hard. As I said, guys, you need to, when Mason is on screen, you really need to watch her. Like, seriously, because she cracked me up in this movie so bad. There's so many times that she was on that I just lost it. I just thought who she was in this movie is so well executed. It's so brilliant. I loved Andrew's facial expression playing by Ewan Brenner when Mason takes her teeth out. Oh man, that made me laugh so hard. Which is actually really, really funny, because I thought to myself, that character definitely has fake teeth in, and then later on in the movie she takes them out. But his facial expression to that, oh man, that's funny. That is so well executed. Guys, I want to know if you noticed this. And if you haven't seen this movie, when you see this movie, pay close attention to Octavia Spencer's character, okay? Pay close attention to Octavia Spencer's character. What she does with the egg. What she does. I'm not going to give it away. I was going to say it, and it cracked me up, but I won't say it. Pay close attention. Seriously, that cracked me up so bad. I thought that was so funny. Oh my gosh. If you aren't paying attention to that, you'll totally miss it. But when you capture it after you see it, you'll laugh so hard, because it's just like, did she just seriously do that with an egg? It's so good. Okay, I'm really hoping I'm not going to, but I have a feeling I am going to, and I deeply, deeply apologize because I don't really understand how to pronounce this name, but I'm going to try. But did you know that Franco the Elder, played by Velvet Alvarado, I think that's how you say his name. I really apologize. The pictures here, guys, that's what I'm talking about right now, actually has no lines of dialogue in this movie at all. Literally. His character has no lines of dialogue. He just makes sounds. Seriously, when you see the movie, it'll be like, oh, wow. But his physicality in this movie is actually the dominant part of this movie, and his facial expressions is the reason why he is who he is in this movie, and it makes so much sense. When you see it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Guys, for those of you who have been following my channel anytime at all, for any period at all, you guys know, and my subscribers, my viewers know, that I love to give you guys trivia. So it's time in my movie review for Snowpiercer, for, guess what it is? That's right, it's trivia time, guys. And I love to give you guys trivia because, in my personal opinion, when you hear trivia in a review about a movie, it kind of entices you not only to rewatch it, but you get a little bit of backstory about stuff that you don't normally see in the movie. So guess what time it is? And I love icing on a cake, and that's what trivia is for me. So, who doesn't love cake? I love cake. So it's trivia time. There was no additional lighting while using the torchlight fight scene. That's crazy. Now that is absolutely filmmaking genius right there. Next piece of trivia is, guys, director Bong Joon-ho often clashed with producer Harvey Weinstein, who frequently interfered in order to create his version of the film. Among the many requests, the producer insisted of having the fish scene removed in favor of more action. Bong, who considered his favorite shot of the film, was adamant to keep it in the film. He told the producer he wanted to keep it in the film for personal reasons, as a tribute to his late father, who was a fisherman. Upon hearing this, Weinstein said family is very important to him. So he granted Bong to keep it in the shot. In an interview, the director said it was an absolute lie. My father was not a fisherman. That's hilarious. I love that so much. Next piece of trivia is, guys. Writer and director Bong Joon-ho had reservations about casting Chris Evans in the lead role because of his muscular physique. He felt that as a resident of the extremely poverty-stricken tail section, Chris should not be especially physically fit. Costuming and careful camera angles kept Chris Evans' physique from showing. That's awesome. Next piece of trivia is, guys. Writer and director Bong Joon-ho explained that the protein block was made by combining seaweed, tangle, sugar, and gelatin. Jamie Bell hated it, while Tilda Swinton liked it. I don't know what tangle is. Anyway, next piece of trivia is, guys. Sir John Hurt's character's name, Gilliam, is in homage to Terry Gilliam, a director whose filmography includes similarly bleak and science fiction, fantasy, and end-of-the-world titles, such as Brazil, 1985, 12 Monkeys, 1995, and The Zero Theorem, 2013. Next piece of trivia is, guys, the drawings in the tail section of Snowpiercer were illustrated by Jean-Marc Puchet, the original comic artist of the graphic novel Let's Transpersonage. I'm sorry for butchering that, but that's what it says in the trivia, guys. Next piece of trivia is, according to the filmmakers, trained babies like Kiona Koa-sung developed animalistic hearing skills. That's random. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Chris Evans personally contacted Bong Joon-ho for the audition after hearing the casting news. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Bong Joon-ho first wrote the part of Mason with John C. Reilly in mind, but then adapted the character for Tilda Swinton, though he left it lines in it of Mason referred to as masculinity, which actually show up in the movie. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Barrandov Studios was chosen for the production. The studio completed construction of a 100-meter, 328 feet long replica of the train. That's incredible. Next piece of trivia is, guys, this is based on the French graphic novel Le Transpersonnage. Bong Joon-ho discovered the comic in late 2004 during pre-production on The Host 2006, and was fascinated by the concept of people struggling on a train for survival. Next piece of trivia is, guys, the glasses that Mason was wearing were originally Tilda Swinton's. When writer and director Bong Joon-ho visited her, they played with her children's playbox and found them. That's cool. Next piece of trivia is, guys, the last scene of this movie was shot in Austria. Next piece of trivia is, guys, filmed in 72 days. Next piece of trivia is, guys, writer and director Bong Joon-ho wanted to underline the pressing danger of global warming by setting the year that CW7 is dispersed as 2014. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Jamie Bell's character, Edgar, was actually named after Edgar Wright. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Tilda Swinton had to spend more than 2 hours in the makeup chair. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Song Kang-ho and Koa-sung also played father and daughter in The Host 2006. Next piece of trivia is, guys, writer and director Bong Joon-ho said the fish scene was inspired by The Godfather 1972. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Mason was originally a male character and described as a peaceful one in the original script. This changed when Tilda Swinton was cast. Next piece of trivia is, guys, this is the third dystopian theme movie for Sir John Hurt after 1984 that came out in 1984, and V for Vendetta 2005. Next piece of trivia is, guys, Bong Joon-ho says that he got the idea from a 1970s nuclear-powered submarine. The train and the nuclear submarine 1970s had a similar average speed of 50 kilometers, 31 miles per hour. Next piece of trivia is, guys, this movie takes place in 2014 and 2031. Next and final piece of trivia, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me this entire way. I really appreciate your time. Song Kang-ho, Koa-sung, and Paulus appeared in Bong Joon-ho's The Host in 2006. Guys, you guys have been incredible. Thank you for sticking in. I really, really hope that you enjoyed my review for Snowpiercer 2013. I seriously hope you... Thanks for being here. I genuinely appreciate your time. You guys are amazing. Don't forget, guys, who's bringing this movie review for Snowpiercer 2013. This is Superman Steve, guys. Until my next movie review, flying out.